Well, I thought you were making the intro.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I've never been this nervous for a YouTube video before. I feel like I'm bearing my soul for everyone out there.
I wonder
critique.
why.
Okay, so as we all know, we're currently 2 set unemployed. And one thing unemployment life is about is chasing your dreams, ironically. No, not just kidding.
Yeah. We hate making content.
It's good. No, joke. But you know, when we took a few months off last year, one of the things I found was that I had a bit more spare time, and I really wanted to give a crack at something I've always wanted to learn, which was to compose. I used to like kind of doodling around on the piano, so just improvising different chords and stuff. But I never learnt composition like properly. Musicians out there, you all know we learn like grade 5, grade 6 theory because you're forced to for your practice exams. So like my knowledge was basically up to basic 4-part harmony, and that was it, right?
You know what's really weird? You just activated my Siri.
Really?
Yeah. When you said theory, Siri thought Siri, and it just turned on. How crazy is that?
Damn. Siri is theory.
Anyway.
Conspiracy Siri.
Actually, I remember Eddie doing that a lot. Like, I just go play computer games, and Eddie's like playing the piano and trying to listen. It's like, that's a G-sharp 7 major, ternary 6-1-5-5-5-9.
Probably not like that, but yeah, I get the point. I mean, it comes hand in hand with the perfect pitch, right? You just kind of naturally like to try and label harmonies and chords. But anyway, so this is kind of inspired by PewDiePie, where he was like, I'm going to teach myself how to draw. I was like, you know what? I'm going to teach myself to compose for no reason. Give myself about 2-3 months of this.
Yeah.
I mean, the first month, honestly, was actually just getting into the habit, because it was so not a habit. So the first month, maybe I only did it once every 3 days. But by month 2, I had like this kind of momentum where I was just doing a little bit of self-study, a little bit of composing every day. And I'm so nervous because I feel like all the composers out there are probably gonna like roast me in the comments.
Yeah.
Especially how we just did the AI video before.
I know, it was like,
So actually the AI composed better than
AI
you.
was so much better.
But you know what? It's fun. I just want to share my journey. So,
Let's go.
also stick around because at the end of the video I'll show you guys my first ever Sonata.
I haven't even heard it. I don't even know what it's like at the
Yeah.
moment.
So this is something I wrote, just some 4-part harmony.
Nice.
I'm gonna cringe, but. Yeah, and that's all I made it.
I mean, it sounds legit. It just sounds like 4-part harmony, right?
Yeah.
That's good. It's like, it sounds choral and like a chorale.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did it to refresh all my rules about parallel fifths and like chords and voice leading. Actually, one thing I noticed very interestingly is Bach actually breaks some rules, even in his choirs, right? So, I mean, I can't remember, as I was like copying his stuff, I realized like sometimes the voice leading or the doubling wouldn't be textbook, or like he would just modulate, like this chromatics and stuff, you know? It's like, there's actually a bit of chromaticism in Bach. It's not just like pure tonal, which is
But he knew the rules, so he could break it.
exactly.
You can't break it without knowing the rules.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like when he breaks the rules, it sounds better.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you shouldn't break the rules and it sounds worse.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like, dude.
Okay, but let's ignore that one. Let's do something. Yeah, you can see this is very tragic, right? I just try to like label
Oh,
the
nice.
stuff, and then I was just like, I gave up.
164, I remember that.
Yeah.
Wait, 164, can you refresh my memory? 164 is just the...
Yeah, I know, this is all like, oh my god, coming back.
I remember learning it, but I forgot completely.
Well, okay, so tonic chord is, let's say, this is in G major, right? No, this is D major.
Yeah.
D, F sharp, A is tonic.
Yeah.
So first inversion will be 1-6.
Yeah.
F sharp, A, D.
Yeah.
And the 6 means there's a 6th interval, right?
Yeah.
And then 6-4 is the second inversion.
Oh, okay, second version,
Which is funny because
So it'd be A
this
first.
is not a 1-6-4. This is actually a 1-6. So I clearly got it wrong. But this is like the beginning days, right?
This is second invert, first
This
inversion.
is first inversion. So this is just 1-6.
Yeah.
That
would be second
1-6-4.
inversion.
Yeah.
Okay. So second 6/4 is second inversion. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and actually a really cool thing I'll talk about this is one of the main things you realize about harmony is the role of harmony kind of is just split into 3 main buckets.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, like all these chords, right? Really, it's just the tonic, which is the center, which is the 1. Then the dominant, which is the 5, and that represents the polarity, right? So it's all like 5 to 1. Everything else is kind of like a predominant. So it's how you set up the 5 that makes it very interesting.
Okay.
So like the 2s, the 4s, the 6s, the all that stuff. So, but then 1-6-4 is like, it's very, very common. So instead of just, actually I'm gonna play this, see what it sounds like. I have no idea. Okay, that's horrible every single way. But if I wanted to make it a 1-6-4, so that actually is just a 1-6. Let me just get rid of that. It was sounding better before. That's a 4. If that's
1-6.
will be a 1-6-4, and then that will be a 5. So 1-6-4 going to a 5 to 1 is a very common thing.
Okay.
So it will sound like.
Okay, it's a bit better. Yeah.
Very like
it's better than before. It's
typical.
more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, this was day 2 of composing.
Nice.
So I had no idea what I was doing. It's like horrible. Okay, so then I was like, where'd I go from here? And I started looking into writing themes. Actually, do you want to show this happy birthday thing I wrote?
Okay.
Okay, so
Do I know it? I don't know.
for our happy birthday, I was thinking like, I could write like a little happy birthday tune. But it's pretty bad. But we can see it. I want you guys to see
The progression,
where it came from.
Guys, we're gonna start from 3 months ago. Progression. Well, damn. I have not seen this. I have not seen this.
You ready?
Still, yeah, I'm ready. Mendelssohn.
It's so dumb.
How the hell this bumblebee?
Okay, so can I just say, first of all,
Like, why do we go from freaking happy
because
birthday?
I was like, oh, it'd be funny, 2-set birthday. But then I look like, why would I go from D major into an E minor? That's just like the dumbest modulation.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, what would be the good minor key to go to from D major?
Or
The
D
relative?
major. Oh, there's a table I've written somewhere.
Can you go to like B minor?
Yeah, B minor would be the relative minor, so that would be the more obvious one. Or just not E minor. That doesn't make sense.
Anything but E minor.
Yeah, I thought the ending was kind of cool.
Okay, let's
the
just
ending a little
go
bit.
from the ending.
Added
Paganini.
playing four for no reason.
Dun, 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 dun. Whoa, Accelerando.
I hate that. Wrong note. I was trying to be different. Yeah. This is why I just gave up.
What the heck?
That was just a manifestation of my pain at the end.
I thought it was like legit shit. I was like, oh dude,
Nah.
those chords are intense.
And you know, but writing this is a really good exercise for me because that made me realize I don't understand. I mean, first of all, I was working with a melody that was not mine, right? It's Happy Birthday. So first of all, I don't actually know how to construct a new theme, original theme. And the second thing I realized is like structure. I had a lot of ideas, but it just felt like a bunch of random stuff pieced together like Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
And so I found like some resources, a book analyzing classical form, I think it's called. And then I started this journey. The next like month and a half was all about just writing themes. And so I will show you now. And I talked about it a little bit last time. So
Everyone, are you ready? The grand finale.
not the finale.
We will
at all.
play this on tour. No, I'm joking.
So these are all just sketches.
Okay.
None of these are full pieces. Just sketching.
But this is not the final yet.
Yeah, no.
Okay, we'll go through the sketches. Okay. So
Yeah.
guys, sorry, I was hyping it up. Guys, we're not there yet. We're still in the sketches.
Yes.
Yeah.
This video is still a long way to go.
Okay.
Okay, so this is about like a few weeks in, and here I was learning. I think I talked about this before. The sentence.
Yeah.
Right. So the sentence is a very common
Oh, the 2-4.
thematic structure. Exactly. Oh, nice. So, I'm gonna see if you can hear the 2-4 here. I'll play for you.
Okay. 2-4. 4. That was like 2-4, right?
Yeah.
You didn't say Mozart did that too? Everyone does it, right?
I mean, all the classical composers have written sentences, and even movie soundtracks still use it today. So it's very, very common. Yeah. That's the second two, and then.
Keep going.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys actually want to learn about this, but the idea is the first 4 bars remains kind of grounded in the tonic. And so there's a couple of ways to do this. It can be like a pure repeat. Sometimes that 1 chord and then 1 chord here. So everything's 1. It could be 1 and 5, 1, 5. In this case, it's 1, 1 and then 5, 5. So there's like 2 types. One is like the first 2 and the second 2 are the same harmony. The second is like the first 2 and the second 2 are different harmony, but they don't create a cadence. It's still just kind of like in the realm of the tonic, if that makes sense. And then the cool part is that the second half, you really want to start moving forward. So you do that in a few things. The first is the harmony changes faster pace. So in the beginning, you can see here, 2 bars is in 1, 2 bars in 5. But here it's 1 bar 5, 1 bar 5.
Ah, okay.
So you speed up the rate which harmony changes. And
wait, 1 bar 5.
this is tonic. It's bar 5.
Oh, 1 bar
6 is 5.
5, sorry.
Whereas here, 2 bars in tonic, 2 bars 5, right?
Okay.
And then the other thing you want to do is you do something called fragmentation, which I think is really cool. And in your basic idea that you start, you introduce a few motifs, right? So one of them is like the da 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 da, and this one is da 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 da. There's like 2 motifs. But here, you want to take a fragment of these motifs and make it smaller.
Oh, because it's broken up in 2s now.
Yeah, so here, this is here, da 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 da, and then da 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 da,
Okay.
da da. So now rather than 1 bar for her motive, 1 bar for her motive, now it's half a bar, half a bar, half a bar, half a bar. So by contracting the units of time, it feels like you're going forward.
It does, but tempo is exactly the
Same.
same.
Yes.
It's like the music is going somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this part is called the continuation, and it's very important in sentence. And this has been really cool because I realized after learning this, when you interpret music, if you're playing a sentence, you should know that if you're in the continuation part, you should be going somewhere.
Yeah, that's where it kind of moves forward.
Yes.
It's like
Dun, da, 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 da,
da,
da, da, da, da, da, da.
okay, it makes sense. It keeps going.
Yeah. That
Fragmentation,
part.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, even that, right? Dum ba ba da 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 da, and then da 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 da.
It just shorted half already. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Here's another sentence I wrote.
Da, da, da.
It's clearly inspired by Sibelius.
Which week was this in? Second month? First month?
It's like
2 months?
week 1 of learning
Okay.
themes.
Whoa.
So like very beginning, like day 1 of learning
Yeah,
themes. So that's the first, the second repeat.
It's longer now than it should
Exactly. And then continuation.
be. Keeps going.
Yeah. It's a
yeah.
fun-
This feels like some anime stuff.
So that's probably my first theme that I feel actually I can listen to this.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
Yeah.
It sounded like I was like an anime.
Oh, nice. One Piece. If you need a new film
Yes.
composer, hit me up.
Luffy, you need the ship sailing out.
The second type of one is called the period theme. Rather than 2-4, it's 4 and 4. It's symmetrical, and so there's less of a forward feeling.
Okay.
But the first 4 is a bit like an A and a B, and an A and B in the second 4. But the idea is the first half, right? The first 4 bars, it's called the antecedent. It ends on a half cadence. So it's like a question.
Oh,
And then
okay.
the second 4 is an answer.
Yeah,
It ends on
okay, gotcha.
yeah, so I didn't even bother writing out the accompaniment. Now back. It settles, right?
Yeah.
Think
So
it's-
then what's Mendelssohn's da 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 keeps going, right?
Mendelssohn's an interesting one. I remember thinking about da, 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 da,
Mendelssohn
da,
just
da,
keeps
da,
going,
da,
dude
da,
never
da.
stops.
Okay, so I think, look, I'm not an expert. I think Mendelssohn is a period. So da 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 da. Da 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 da. That's the
That's
question,
the
right?
question, yeah.
And they come back again. Da 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 da. Because periods, after the question, the second half always starts the same way as the first half.
Yeah,
right? So
okay.
da, da, da. Except Mendelssohn then does something called a continuation, and you know a lot of composers do this. It's like the 8-bar is the standard model,
Yeah.
but then you can start messing around with it by adding extra material in. So it could be like 4, and it's in the 4, the 3, and then you add like some new material before you get to the last
okay,
bar.
yeah.
So that's what Mendelssohn
Yeah.
does.
Okay, that makes
I'll
sense.
show you in a bit
Okay.
later. We'll talk about it. So otherwise everything will be too like formulaic. It's too boring.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I quite like this one. And you can see like I'm not even caring about the accompaniment. It's all about just at this point melody and the harmony. That's it. And the
That's
structure.
the basis of everything.
Yeah.
Dude, I can imagine myself learning piano. I see the bass because like on my left hand.
Bass clap.
This is my left hand. Crap, gotta go down.
Yeah, so I mean, periods just kind of just sound like that.
Nice, that's good.
Sounds like kind of Suzuki,
I was
but at
think-
least it sounds like
I was thinking Suzuki like book 1, 2, 3. He's like
Yeah.
you're learning the pieces and you're looking at the left and right hand.
But at least it sounds to me a bit more like music, just simple.
It's
compared
coherent,
to
yeah.
before. It was like I clearly had no idea what I was doing.
Right. I can see you put what you had before. You kind of made sense of it in this.
It's just, I mean, the just having the framework of period and sentence lets you. It's a bit limiting in the beginning, but it like gives you a form to hold your
Yeah.
ideas
Yeah.
in a coherent way. And I have to say, like, I personally love like more romantic and post-romantic type music.
Yeah.
But it really helps to start practicing from the classical stuff.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
don't even go there.
All the composers also learned from these guys, right?
Yeah.
It's just a lineage.
Yeah, I think people will be surprised that Schoenberg wrote a book on composing. When he teaches, he's very much talking about this.
If he says so, you better. Like, you better know the foundations.
Ah, yeah.
Is that's the
Yeah, so you kind of felt towards the
Yeah.
end there was that extra stuff put in, right?
Yeah.
If you look at it, da 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 da
2, 3, 4, right?
da 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 da. It's actually a period. So
Oh, it's a
that's
period.
4.
Okay, oh, that's 4. Okay.
Yeah, and then da 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 da. And then this is one way you add to phrase differentiation is it's like where do you add it, right? One of the classic places is you add it in the cadence, where the cadence is meant to be. you drag it out to make it more dramatic. So if I really wanted to end it, I would just go da 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 dum bum done.
That's it.
But I did, and you know this. Actually, I don't know if you can tell what this is.
What am I supposed to know?
Yeah, you've learnt this back in 20 years ago.
Oh right, like 20 years ago. Oh, what did I learn? Interrupt the chord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
interrupt the cadence.
actually.
That's interrupt the cadence, exactly.
Guys. That stuff stayed. Interrupted, bro.
Exactly. So it's basically saying here's the end, not
I
yet.
remember. Oh,
Yeah.
that hurt my head.
And then and I try again. So I interrupt it, and then you try again. And here's the real ending.
Yeah.
And then this is like outro. It's like a continuation, but it's just based on one. You're repeating.
Yeah.
Done. You know how like some classical pieces they just never end because it's chords.
Yeah,
That's kind of what all this is.
Done. Compound time. Very Mozart. Ah,
That's the basic variation. I think.
nice, dude.
Okay.
That was good.
Yeah,
Dude,
thanks.
it's getting better. How many weeks is this?
I wish I kept the log. I'm guessing since I started learning structure, probably week 2 or 3.
Damn, bro. Guys, just FYI, if I tried this, it'll take me 3 years.
And you're right in the Mozart because this theme was inspired of that scene in Amadeus.
Yeah, that's why I was like, holy crap. Yeah.
But I mean, I changed it around a bit. But the point wasn't the theme. The point was I was practicing this part, right? So if you can hear.
Oh,
Da 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 da.
I like this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a deviation. I've
Yeah.
gone away from the normal sentence structure and went da 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 da. And this is called an evaded cadence. It's really cool. So 1 6 4 5, and you think it's gonna be a 1, and then just starts again 5 again.
It's like pranked.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can
Okay.
listen to it.
Ah, yeah.
And then that's still not it. And then finally gives it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beethoven does that a lot, right?
Well, all the composers
Yeah,
do it.
okay.
So I think the Mendelssohn is something similar to that.
Yes.
It just goes off to the other thing. And then back here, back to the tonic.
It's weird. Mendelssohn is you know what we're talking about it, where the cutoff is.
Yeah.
It's for the tour because we have a tour coming up, and we're trying to figure out where to cut Mendelssohn if I were to play it again.
Yeah.
But that dude just keeps going.
Yeah.
It never really stops.
Yeah.
You think he stops? Na 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 na. Second subject. Na 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 na. It just keeps going, and then before you realize, it doesn't stop until it hits the end of the first movement.
Yeah, and I think that's actually it's a skill, and there's many techniques you can do to basically blend the sections so there's not a direct
Yeah.
cut. And so,
Genius.
yeah, I mean deviations. It's not quite like about blending, but it's similar. It's a way that you make the form kind of keep going and not so like
Rigid.
formulaic.
Yeah. And it's clear Mendelssohn could do it properly.
Yeah,
Like
of course he
properly.
would.
He was just like, nah, too boring.
Yeah, exactly,
Too
exactly.
cliche.
And that's the fun part about composing, and the stuff that, at least so far, the AI stuff we found haven't been able to do is
True.
the breaking the rules in a way that makes the music more interesting
Yeah.
part.
And because when AI broke the rules, it just sounded like it was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's good and creative.
Yeah. I mean, AI, you're the greatest. AI, you're so good, dude. Break more rules like that. You're so
Yes,
good.
yes. So I feel like I'm starting to get to a point where I'm getting a little bit more,
Okay.
perhaps not the right word, but like, I feel like I can show
Yeah,
this
nice.
stuff now. I'll let you guys listen and you can try and figure out, is it a sentence or a period?
Okay. Dude, it sounds like those games you played back in the day, like
Yeah.
Ragnarok, Story, RuneScape.
Yeah.
Anyone that remember those games watching this? It's like the tracks for that.
And of course, it sounds like horrible and meaty. I tried playing on the violin. It sounds a bit more bearable, but could you figure out what it was?
Sentence. No, what were the options for that?
It is sentence. Except you will notice though, instead of 2-2-4, this is 4-4-8.
Yeah, it was like longer.
Yeah. And you'll notice the first 4 and a 4 make a period. So it's a period within the sentence.
Whoa.
So
okay.
you have nested compound themes where you can do a big sentence where it's period, right? Because a sentence is 2-4, right?
Yeah.
But if the 2 and a 2, it could be a period.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a symmetrical. And the other one you can do is a big period instead of 4-4-8-8, but each 8 is a sentence.
Right.
So now you're starting to nest things
You'll
in.
put things together, like, okay.
Yeah. So that's how you can start building bigger and bigger structures. It's interesting, right?
That's one.
That's
Da-da-dun. That's another one. And now the 8 comes in.
Yeah. So imagine if it was just that. That would be kind of like a period, not officially because
it
it's
finishes
not
on
half
the-
cadence.
Yeah, it's like finishes. That's why I didn't think it was a period.
Yeah.
I was like, it didn't, and not uninterrupt, whatever.
Yes. But you're right. It is a sentence, but it's a sentence kind of with like a period built into it.
Okay, nice. Dude, I want to be just a kid and play games again.
Yeah.
What is this life? So much suffering. So much pain. Dude, I could totally narrate over this.
Yeah.
Chiba-san, what are you doing today? I'm just in the flowers and the garden's doing this. Oh look, it's the birds again. Chiba, goodbye. And the next scene, boom, the freaking army comes and the whole town just gets wiped out. And then it's the start of a freaking anime story.
Yeah. I mean, you can hear the anime.
I can hear it, right? I can hear like, it's almost like programmatic music.
Yeah,
I can hear this, I can plot it out now.
Guys, can you guess what type of theme that was? Can you guess?
I don't even think, I was just thinking about the anime stuff. 2-2-4.
So it's 2-2-4 and
Yeah.
then 2-2-4 again.
Yeah.
So that's the other version I mentioned. It's a sentence and a sentence making one big period.
Ah, wait. Oh, so because there's yeah, that's all. Wait.
It's 2 sentences that form one period.
Yeah.
So the first sentence, that's a 2.
Chiba-san.
Yes. The second 2.
Yeah. Dinner's ready.
Continuation. But it doesn't end on a tonic, it ends on a question.
Yeah. So okay.
And now the
Oh,
sentence comes
right.
back.
So
Yeah.
it's like 2-4, but doesn't finish.
Yeah.
So it's actually, what was it? The 2 sentences, but and it's wrapped in big period.
Exactly.
Ah,
It's a period
so you
that
reversed
consists
it.
of yeah. One was a sentence that included small periods. This is a big period that contained
2 sentences.
2 small sentences.
Damn.
It's kind of cool, right? You start to see.
Damn.
You should try it.
Nah.
So small ternary is. I was getting a bit experimental, but
Looks more complicated now.
yeah, I mean experimental.
Okay,
Experimental.
guys, moving forward, you are going to experience small ternary diminuendo.
Dimino, because I can't spell. Okay, first of all, small ternary is where you have your main theme, sentence or period, and then you have a middle bit, B, and then you have the main thing again.
Okay.
So ABA,
Yeah.
basically. And typically the B is in either the dominant or the relative major.
Yep.
But 2 things. I noticed when I was doing this, I don't know how to write for piano. I can write for violin, but piano stuff, I don't know what you guys do. I know the chords, but obviously just playing pure chords sounds boring, right?
Yeah.
So I tried to add stuff in. It went overboard. I don't like it, but I couldn't be bothered fixing it. And the second thing is I tried to add a bit more romantic, chromatic jazz harmonies, but I'm definitely not there yet.
Okay.
Because I know I'm like going beyond what I know yet. But
Yeah.
you know, let's just share it anyway. Phrase extension, it doesn't end here. Phrase
Keeps going. Yeah.
and now it goes here. Now this is the B section. Fragmentation, continuation. Back to A minor. Piano plays the theme now.
Nice. A strong ending.
I think the playback, I didn't bother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the dynamics and stuff,
yeah.
right? It's meant to be a diminuendo.
Yeah, that was legit. You know what's funny?
What?
In A, a sol A, when Nirvana becomes the harmony, I can so imagine in a lesson, the teacher's like, do you even know the piano part? You're not the solo here.
Yeah. I want to get my violin for this bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I want to just, in case the audience, that's the other thing with this MIDI, is like, you can't really hear it. So let me.
Yeah, MIDI makes it feel like you're playing a game or something.
Yeah. Alright, so of course we don't have a piano here, so we can't play it. Yeah, press P.
P for play
Yeah.
and practice.
I messed up.
Can't play his own compositions. Check.
See?
It sounds better.
Never trust the composer's own rendering.
Yeah.
Because they didn't practice it. Obviously, a real instrument is going to sound like 10,000 times better. Some people made that comment on our AI video, by the way. They were like, the AI one is on a MIDI. Imagine a real human played it. I wonder how it would sound as well.
Ooh.
Which is a
It
good
would
point.
make a difference.
It would make a
Yeah,
difference.
Big difference.
But anyway, no AI here.
Yes.
This is 100%
AI free zone. Human struggle.
human creative struggling. All right, it's time.
We're called HI, human intelligence. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, that's
I understand now.
Hi.
Instead of AI, it's HR. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Sonata attempt to. Okay. I made different attempts and I kind of gave up.
Okay.
But I'll just go with my latest attempt.
Okay.
They're mostly the same. There's one part in the second subject I couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to do with it. This is just the current version. You know, Sibelius revised his violin concerto, you know?
How many times?
I don't know how many times, but he published one version original, and then he revised it to the
Oh
one we
yeah,
do today,
yeah.
right?
No one plays the
Original version, except for Van Gogh, he plays
Yeah,
the
Van
original
Gogh. I was gonna say Van Gogh. Van Gogh's the only guy that played it.
So, you know, if you guys like this and people give feedback, maybe one day I'll make a revised version. For now, this is just a study in sonata form. Okay, so, oh my god, sonata form is like the biggest jump from, okay, so it's like you have the theme, sentence ternary, and now you have like compound themes, and then you have small ternary, and now sonata form is like
Even everything.
it's way bigger. And you know how you learn like exposition, right?
Yeah.
In the exposition, first subject, second subject.
Yeah.
So those subjects will be the themes that we talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So each time first subject. But now we have to figure out the transition between them, the codetas, the development, and the recap.
Yeah.
And going through all the keys.
Recapitulation.
Yes. But I'll play it and then we can talk about it, and maybe I'll play a bit on the violin later. You ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
Interrupt the cadence, your favorite?
Dun.
Codetta.
Then.
This is the development section. I gotta say, sorry. This development section is my favorite part. I just want to talk a little bit, just to share what I tried to do. Opening, everyone knows it. The composers all know this is inspired by F minor piano sonata. Sentence, two, continuation, cadence, right? You can see that. And then this is the transition. So it starts as if it's a repeat of the sentence, but then we start wandering off. And then I had to go from G minor to B flat major. That's the goal. Here is a second subject, which I quite like this part.
It's catchy. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. And it's asymmetrical in the sense that it's 5 bars instead of 4 bars.
Oh, I did not notice.
Which is like a little thing that I added because, you know, again, you can't always just be following the rules, right? So you go 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 1, 2. And this part was so hard to do. But I don't even remember what I was doing here, but I was just doing like crazy sequence modulations between keys. Because, okay, so the idea is sonata form. The first subject is typically more compact, and the second subject is typically where you want to put in a lot of these extensions and things to make it less stable.
Okay.
So you can make it less stable by making it tonally less stable, so like a lot of modulations, sequences, chromatic. You can do it by making it less tight, the form.
Yeah.
So instead of 4 4s at 4, and you add random stuff in, right? So I'm trying to add all this stuff in. So it's a way to contrast on the first subject. And here, initially, I extended it, but then it was all very much in the tonic key. And I realized it just felt like there's this thing where if everything's in a tonic key, it just feels like you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I kind of looked at Beethoven and see what he likes to do. And then so, yeah, here's like B flat, right? Da, 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 da. F. This is a 5, but inverted. Da, 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 da. And then da da da. So here you're already getting the B natural, right? You're getting Do you remember what secondary dominants are?
Oh, trauma. That's all I remember. It's trauma.
Basically, this is. Let me show you. It's kind of like a 6 chord, right? The 6 will be. Right? And then the next one is a 2. C minor. But instead of doing the normal 6, I turn that 6 almost like the 5 to the 2.
Okay.
So I'm making the 2 the new tonic. So instead of. I'm going. So now it sounds like a mini cadence. Right? So do you know what I mean?
Nah.
It's like B flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
you want to go da 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 da.
and then if I didn't do second dominant, I'll just go.
Oh right.
Which is just everything's in the same key. But instead I go.
Damn.
So that's a 5 to 1.
Da. Oh true. Da dun.
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost like in the miniature space, it's not a full modulation. In the miniature space, I turn this 2 chord into like a 1. As if this is a C minor 1 now.
Damn.
And then the 5 to 1.
Holy crap. So how do you even figure that out?
You sit there painstakingly. I mean, after I've done a few, you get normal.
Okay.
But the way you figure it out is, okay, so in a B flat major, so this 2 chord would be, right? So 2 is C minor,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So now you just go, if I was in C minor, what would be my dominant chord?
G minor.
G major.
Oh, G major.
Dominant's always major.
Yeah.
Right? So now I just turn that previous bar into a G major. It would have been a G minor, but I turned it into G major.
Oh, damn. I can see why you're sitting there for ages on this one.
Yeah, this one was pretty.
How do I make it interesting?
Yeah, and then the crazy thing is, you look back and Bach was already doing this stuff. I don't know why, we all have this idea that Bach is just like, didn't do chromatic stuff.
Yeah, some foundational dude that's
Yeah.
like, nah, no, actually.
But there's a lot of chromaticism even back in Baroque and classical. So, 2, and then this is also another secondary dominant net. So, ba da 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 da. There's no A flat in B flat major.
None.
But I'm making it land onto an E major.
E flat major.
Oh, sorry, E flat major, and then this is diminish,
Yeah.
and then finally hit back to F and back to B flat.
Damn.
So now you just kind of make it tonally more ambiguous, so the second subject feels more fluid and less
Structural.
structural.
It sounds like he's on going and it's moving somewhere, but to the listener, it's like, where is it going? I don't know yet.
Exactly. And so if you listen to like Beethoven 5, right? The opening sentence. 2. Now, continuation. 8 bars is just textbook, right? But then if you look at the second subject, it's like, where is it going? But I realized you can actually cut it down. The second subject is actually this.
Oh, yeah, true.
That is the 8 bars.
That's it. But
everything else is just, he injected a bunch of stuff in there.
He was just flexing.
Yeah.
Beethoven's like, even though I can't hear, I can still hear better than all of you.
Speaking of where a composer flex, the development section now is where it's. They say the development section is where composers really show off their skills, and I said this to composer friend, and he actually really liked my development section.
Okay, nice.
So I'm hoping you guys out there like it too.
You guys, if you don't like it, it's your fault. You're just uneducated. That's the problem. So you better like it from now on. Let's go. That's
A gaslighting.
Yeah, gaslighting. If the composers say it's good, it has to be good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Furlies.
Yeah. here we go. Oh.
Recap.
Nice.
Nice.
Dude, that was complicated now.
Yeah. Well,
Now that what you explained, I was like, damn, yeah, counterpoint, multiple lines now, especially in the violin. I was like, dude, the violin part's I was like, you gotta make sure to maintain the melodies.
I mean, it helps again being violinist and know what's playable.
Yeah, like it fits in.
But do you hear the Furley's?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you what's happening, right? Development section, you start with a pre-core, so it's like a little transition, and then the core. I never knew this. Development section, there's a core. Sometimes it's two cores.
Okay.
But the core is basically you have an 8-bar idea, usually based off something from the exposition, and it's just sequences. So I'll kind of walk you through what I try to do, right? C minor, which is the fourth subdominant minor of the tonic. There's certain keys that you go to in the development section, right? At the extended.
I like this one.
So now that's the 8-bar,
Yeah.
right?
It's like, whoa.
Yeah, it was actually really tricky for me because I kind of screwed myself over in that you need typically an 8-bar. It depends, 4/8, depends on the tempo, right? But if it's too short, you can't fragment later. Because a lot of development is you start something and you start snipping shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Right? But mine was 5 bars.
Okay.
And so I'm like, do I make it 10, 16? And so I kind of just made it 8 by making this extra thing.
And then so you kind of save yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think it works, but
Yeah.
it took me a while to figure that out.
Oh, that's smart. Nice.
And I don't know if you can hear like the counterpoint in the piano.
I was thinking that, like the pianist, I was actually thinking, imagine Sophie playing it.
Yeah,
It's like,
Sophie has a melody.
melody.
And then this next part was really cool. It looks weird, but there's actually a hidden melody in the piano going
Okay.
da 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 da.
Okay,
So
nice.
see if you can listen. Okay, so now C minor, and now I'm in D minor, so the dominant
Yeah.
minor. So I'm modulating a lot because that's development section.
Yeah.
That's what they do, right? Da 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 da.
Nice.
In the bass. Da, da, da,
Da,
da,
da,
da.
Nice.
So that's an example of the fragmentation. Now, instead of 8 bars, it's just 4 bars. Da, 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 you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we're just cycling circle fifths, you know. D, G, C, F, B flat, E, A, D.
Nice.
So
All
That's how
right.
you kind of traverse that circle. If those people that have a circle fifth watch, you
Yeah.
can follow it. And that's how I got from, I mean, I still end up in D minor, but I went through like freaking 7 keys in that
crazy.
small section. And then,
Even though if you can't identify a key, you can hear, and it makes it all interesting. Right? So it's
Yeah.
not just so predictable and the same.
it's more dramatic.
Yeah, it's more dramatic.
And that's what you want in the development section. This part is just kind of like building up to climax. So in the piano, da, 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 that's the theme that I introduced before in this counter melody in the piano part. Da, 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 da. But now that's the main theme. To be honest, I'm not sure about the scale, but I don't know what to put there. Get into a 6/4.
Oh yeah.
lingering on the dominant. 5, 1. So everything's 5, 1, 5, 1. And then recap, it's all the same.
Yeah.
I love recap because you just copy paste.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. Okay, now the transition is different because now I have to go back to tonic. So listen out. Here,
Ah.
I'm going to flat. Now it's G minor, not
Okay.
B flat major. It's minor.
Oh
key
yeah.
now. There you go.
Nice. Damn, that was legit. You could literally just post it and be like, "This is Beethoven's new
No, I
undiscovered sonata."
couldn't. No, I couldn't.
And it's, I think a bunch of people would be fooled.
I definitely still added things in there that wouldn't make it Beethoven, right?
True.
Because I didn't want to exactly copy
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's true.
For example, 5 bars theme.
Yeah, that was like indie.
Yeah, or like even the opening melody is a little bit weird. It's not a classical contour. Da, 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 da.
True, it was like da 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 da. But it
Yeah.
sets the theme though.
And that's the thing too. You don't want your theme to be generic. You
Yeah.
want it to be interesting.
Yeah. That took like what, 3 months, 2 months?
Oh, dude, this took me like hours. I'd say the sonata took me at least 3 weeks or like an hour every day.
Whoa!
2 weeks.
Damn!
But I mean, not fully composing because I would like run into problems and then I'll like research and
Yeah, yeah, and you
learn
try things and put it back in.
Yeah, I like getting feedback. But it was really cool. This is all like self-study.
That's crazy.
And so that's my first up to now. I don't know if you guys watching this, if you like this type of stuff.
Yes, if you made it this far, guys, you've discovered HI, human intelligence.
I know I wanted to write something for 2 violins, but it's very limiting and tricky.
Yeah.
But I do want it to be a goal
Yeah.
that I want to write a double violin concerto
That'll
for.
be sick, dude. We can play it.
Because there's just every tour we do, we're like, what?
I know, guys,
double violin
please.
repertoire's there. Bach double, Sarasota, Navarro, that's it.
Yeah, and then we get more indie like Prokofiev.
But there's no orchestra piano with it, right?
True.
It's just 2
Winowski is just like a bit basic. Guys, 20k likes and Eddie will write a double violin concerto with orchestra. Whoa! We got a tour soon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean,
20K
that
likes.
would be my next thing. I mean,
That'd be pretty cool.
I don't know if people like this, if I want to film myself doing more,
Yeah,
but
comment double concerto in the comments below. And if we see a lot of it, Eddie will write it.
okay.
And then you can play on tour. And everyone can listen to it live.
Okay,
Yes.
sounds good.
Yes.
I'm gonna post this and I'm gonna get shredded.
Yeah. Let's
But-
go. Let's go, everyone. All the composers out there, come roast this channel.
Come roast us, please.
Yeah, roast Eddie, not me. I'm just spectating.
Alright,
guys.
thanks for watching.
Long video. Thanks for watching, for making it this far. And remember, as always, in order to be good, you gotta go practice.